What up everyone, it's Archer Blues coming at you with another video, and as per usual, hit that like button if you enjoyed, comment if you have any thoughts, and subscribe if you'd like to catch any future content. Spiel done. Today I'm going to be painting a Wadroon Sign of Conquest from the game Conquest, The Last Argument of the Kings. Really cool model, one of my favorites. I'm just going to be doing the leather. As you can see, I've done the skin and like the cloth robe that he's wearing as well. And yeah, really happy with how it's turning out so far. So today I'll be doing the leather. There's also that strap thing with like the balls, I guess like the domes around his shoulder and across his chest. I'm going to paint that in like a non-metallic metal gold. But the process is similar to the leather. It's just, it'll diverge into a different set of colours once it gets to the lighter shades. And you'll see the paints that I'm working with in a moment. Doing like, what is it, 1, 2, 5 paints. Oh, a bit of a cough. So I'll be starting with Abaddon Black, which will pop up in a moment. Just now. Pop up again in a moment too. And then Rhinox Hide, which is like a really dark brown. That's the next shade that I'll be working with, or colour. Then I go with Leather Brown by Vallejo, just to build the body of that leather up. And then Mornfang Brown to get some of the higher points. And then I'll be highlighting / putting in some wear, like the grain sort of being scratched up and such, in Kislev Flesh, which just popped up before. So we'll get started. I normally start with the dark first and work my way up. It's probably the best way to do it, because it gives you more control in building up your colours. For me personally. Yeah, that's my wet palette. It's got Abaddon Black on there. I'm just going to get cranking. Now today, I wanted to talk about Thomas Sowell while I paint. It's going to be quick, but I'll start off with a story. As I put the black on all the bits that I'm going to be painting leather. So you'll see me working through that carefully here. I was watching Matt Lech, the Left Reckoning, I think is the channel's name. Yeah, it is. And he was interviewing, I can't remember the person's name, it escapes me, I apologise for that, but he was interviewing someone that was talking about Thomas Sowell and analysing his positions, political positions over the course of time, and whether they stayed the same or they evolved. What they found was he basically, his political ideals and views run adjacent or alongside the Republican Party at the time. To use the example of him being for the war back in 2003, the Iraq War that is, and then 10 years later, after Republicans chose to try and distance themselves from it, he was against it. So it shows he doesn't really hold particular values himself. He's just found that this is a lucrative position to hold. Like, yes, he's ideologically aligned with Republicans, but being vocal with his positions, he's only vocal with them because they're lucrative for him, right? But outside of that, they recommended a video that I watched and I really enjoyed, and that was Unlearning Economics' teardown, I guess you can say, of Basic Economics, which is one of the novels or books that Thomas Sowell wrote. And he did a really good job. I highly recommend anyone go and watch it. And I'll put the link in the comments / the description. It's 2 hours long. It's a long watch, but it's pretty good. Now you can see me here, I've done the Abaddon Black, and now I'm working on putting in like the leather brown and the Rhinox hide as well. So just working those browns in. But yeah, the video, I say, 2 hours long, but it does a good job of debunking a lot of the points that Thomas Sowell uses, discrediting some of them because they don't have evidence. He's basically just stipulating something is and therefore it is. So yeah, really good for that. But probably the coolest thing about unlearning economics, and this video essay, is he covers so many concepts, like without the need for math, just concepts. And it is, like, this is new and dear to me, so I really enjoyed watching it, and I can't recommend it enough. That's a gush done. But one of the coolest things he did was he explained economics in a manner that I think a lot of leftists don't understand. A lot of leftists think that economics only works in the capitalist system. That's just not the case. You can have economics exist within any sort of organization of the factors of production. You're still going to have the same issues of scarcity and surplus. Now I try and explain it through the lens of scarcity so people can sort of connect the dot. But what unlearning economics does is amazing. He also talks about the surplus aspect, and it's not really talked about. It's a lot harder to explain it because, again, people have a finite amount of time. They're time poor. They don't really want to digest or absorb this. He does an amazing job of explaining it. So if you get the chance, definitely go out there and watch Unlearning Economics' video. I'll link it. It's definitely worthwhile watching. And yeah, you're really going to enjoy it. Now, I've sort of worked up the leather as I've been ranting here. So I popped on the leather brown, Mournfang brown, and now I'm doing Kislev flesh. I'm going to be very frank. Like, if people have worked with Citadel bottles, I fucking hate them. Like, they're the most impractical paint bottles ever. If you look at a Vallejo one, so you saw the Vallejo, this leather brown, it's a dropper bottle. So I can put a drop of paint on my wet palette, put a drop of paint in my airbrush and the appropriate thinners. And it's easy to better control your mixes and things like that if you're looking at mixing colours. With Citadel, you are basically wasting a brush, pulling the paint out. So I have a Haggard size 2 brush. It's just torn to shreds. And I'll use that to pull paint out and then mix it to get the right consistency. But that's 2 paint brushes because you need one to apply the paint. The paint drips onto the lid, which affects the seal, and it will lead to your paints drying quicker. But when you go to clean the seal, you have to be careful so as not to like knock in dried paint into the wet paint because it's going to make it clumpy. Now, you can work around that a little bit, yes, but I don't like clumpy paint. It's painful. And they're more expensive than Vallejo. What are you paying for? Like, sure, it's a slightly... Actually, it's not even a larger bottle. Vallejo's are 17ml bottles of paint. Like little chips. These are only 12ml. The pigment concentration's about the same. I'm ranting about this, but you can see there, like, the paint's dried on it. Like, this is an older bottle, fair enough, but paint can last as long as you want it to if you keep it well. Like, I've got Vallejo paints that are the same age as Kislev and are better in nick. And you can see me shaking it in frustration. But nonetheless, I've cleaned it. I cleaned it today. Got paint all over my fingers. Drove me insane. Anyways, I'm doing the highlights here. You'll see me, like, just etching it on. I don't have to be neat with it. I don't want to be neat with it. You can sort of see I'm just trying to target like some of the higher wear areas. This guy isn't going to be like a golden demon contestant. I don't do golden demon. I don't even do the smaller painting competitions. I might actually try and do one once I finish painting an army up. But yeah, you can see like the wear there that I've popped on. Once you zoom out a little bit, that looks a lot more seamless. It looks a lot more like leather wear. The next video I'll do for this guy will probably be the non-metallic metal gold for that shoulder band thing that goes from his right shoulder down to his left waist. So that'll be cool. Definitely go and check out the Unlearning Economics video. I know I sort of ranted on it. It was a bit untethered, but yeah, like does a really good job explaining economics, debunking Thomas Sowell, and just really good content. And here's the whip for the Silent Conquest. You can see all the leather done. Took a picture of him. And you'll see another angle pop up in a moment. But hopefully, in amongst my rants, you got to watch me pop a bit of paint on, learnt something, even though there wasn't much to learn. But I can do more dedicated just tutorials as well if people want me to. It's not a big deal. That being said, in the meantime, guys, be easy, stay safe. Paint some minis if you haven't started and you don't want to do it. Like you don't have anything to do. Give painting minis a crack. It's pretty good fun. It's pretty relaxing. I can teach you a little bit, and I'm more than happy to teach what I know. So, yeah, feel free to tune in, grab a model. You can mimic some of the stuff I've done. But in the meantime, definitely check out that video essay by Unlearning Economics. Sorry, cough. And I'll see you all in the next video, which should be shortly. Bye bye.